Coming up on this episode of the QU podcast with me, Ethan Fletcher, I welcome you to our brand new QE podcast studio, recently decorated for Christmas. I interview a QE student who's doing an amazing thing online, and I've got an exclusive pre-dance-off interview with guidance director Nicola and principal Laurence ahead of their dance-off next week on Tuesday lunch in the sports hall. That's what's coming up on
the QE podcast with Ethan Fletcher.
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 Hello and welcome to the QE podcast with me, Ethan, and welcome to our brand new studio that we've been working on for the past few months. This is what we've been doing since the QE podcast has been gone. But what do you think? Is there anything we can add? Let us know by messaging us on Instagram at rain_QE. But also, this space also means that every single episode of the QE podcast can now be watched. So it's got a video version here on Spotify, but also on YouTube. So if you're listening now and want to watch, you can watch on Spotify. That's just search the QE podcast, or you can watch on Rain's new YouTube channel. That's rain_QE on YouTube. But also, this new podcast studio means that you can also create your very own podcast. So if you've got an interest that you like, if you've got a friend that you just love talking to and want to film that, please let me know. We really want to have as many student-made podcasts as possible. So you can get involved with Rain and with podcasts if you want by messaging us on Instagram. That's rain_QE on Instagram. Also, or messaging me, emailing me on 23773 at g.qeliz.ac.uk. So now it's time for my interview with a QE student who has almost 10,000 followers over her Instagram and TikTok accounts. Here it is. Welcome on the podcast, Layla, a second-year QE student who has almost 10,000 followers over Instagram and TikTok, hundreds of thousands of views and likes across her book content. Welcome on the podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So if people don't know what you do, explain to them what you do.
So I work with quite a few different publishing companies to help promote authors' works. So there's a few like smaller based publishing companies, because obviously everyone would know like the big ones like Penguin, HarperCollins, things like that. There's like a few smaller ones that I work with that would go with debut authors that are releasing their first books that might not get the funding that other people might get.
Yeah.
So I more promote their work on my account and give reviews of their books before it's released.
Okay, yeah. So like, when did you start doing this? When did you start making content?
On my TikTok I started it in April.
Okay.
And I think on my Instagram I started it this time last year.
Okay, so it's relatively new then.
Yeah.
So how did you like start seeing success with it and start working with those publishers, as you said?
I think it was until about August this year until I actually started collaborating with them, because I think my first one that I got asked was Penguin. They asked me if I wanted to get a proofread for Holly Jackson. She's just come out with a new TV series of her book. Oh, wow. I got asked if I wanted to do one of hers after one of their marketing agents had found my page, so I was like, I'll do that. And then I got put onto the it's like an influencer circle kind of thing. Okay. So it's like you get sent the emails to be like, do you want this book? You say yes or you say no, and then you promote it for them. I got put on that for a few different publishing houses like Bloomsbury and things. So really, I just get sent emails to be like, do you want this book? Yeah. So if you want this book, then just review it for us before it's released. And then sometimes you get to go to events for it.
Wow. So how did it feel like to start working with those publishing companies, Penguin, as you mentioned?
I thought it was quite cool, because I didn't, at first, obviously I knew I wanted to go into like publishing and I wanted to work with authors, but I never knew that was like a career you could take on as well. So I started looking, when I started here actually, I started looking with Dean at different jobs that you could do in the publishing industry. And it's just, there was like a lot of, obviously TikTok became like a very big thing and a lot of people were using it as a platform for different things, and there wasn't a lot of authors that know how to look after their own like pages and things. So it's like there was one author that I used to work with, Amber V. Nicole. She was a debut author last year, and now she's just got signed on with a big publishing company. But like, before that, I helped her run her own her own pages and things, because she didn't know how to run them. So it helped make like websites and web pages for them.
So like you've mentioned that you work with Penguin Books. I heard something about them like helping with uni. Is that right?
That might happen. So if I get an internship after uni, I get a years-long internship with them where they'll then fund my university.
So is the next goal after QE is that like moving into publishing, working in publishing itself, or like growing this account more?
I think I'd still work with this account, because like when I spoke with one of the I think she's one of the marketing directors, she was saying it's like a big help because it shows that you can grow that kind of following and you can follow different trends and things. So I think I'd probably still keep that on the side, but I do more want to go into working with a publishing house.
Yeah, that sounds great. So thank you for coming on the podcast today. It's been great to have you here. Thank you. A big thank you to Layla for being the very first guest in this brand new studio. If you are a QE student or know one of your friends that is doing something amazing, whether that's sport, fundraising, anything else to do with your career, anything, let me know by emailing me on 2437773@g.qeliz.ac.uk. So next up on the QE podcast, a few months ago, we uncovered on this very podcast that QE principal Laurence is the QE Just Dance staff champion from years and years ago at a staff Christmas party. But we also found out that he had been practicing to that song. So we also interviewed guidance director Nicola, who lost to Laurence then. And they both agreed to do a rematch. And that rematch is happening next Tuesday the 16th of December in the Sports Hall. The QE Just Dance title will be up for grabs. So please don't miss out. We'll be covering it right here on the QE podcast with commentary, with video, everything. And that's happening at lunchtime on Tuesday. But before that, I thought I should bring them into the QE podcast studio to sit them down and see how everything was going before the big day. Welcome to the QE podcast, guidance director Nicola and QE principal Laurence. How are you doing today?
Hello, doing good, Ethan. It's Christmas jumper day.
Christmas jumper, yeah.
We've gone sophisticated.
Yeah.
I would have worn it, but it's a bit hot in the studio. So you are both going to do a rematch of your Just Dance dance-off from years and years ago. So if people don't know what happened then, can one of you sum up what happened all of those years ago?
We're saying it's a long time, isn't it? But we're still dining out.
About 15 years ago this was.
Yeah.
It was at a staff party, is that right? Christmas party.
Yeah.
And it was someone's idea to have a Just Dance, the We Just Dance competition, okay? Yeah. And I think, let's be fair, I think we got to the final. I think we might have been the finalists. I think, can you remember who won?
It was you, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Laurence.
So officially, I am QE's staff dance champion, but
He's self-titled himself.
but with anyone who knows about We, of course, you don't actually have to be able to dance, because you just have to anticipate what the moves are kind of going to be. And I have to admit, I hadn't practiced because Nicola chose the song. But I had been doing it with my children. We did have the We dance, so I kind of knew what was coming up. And I think, to be fair, I'm not saying I'm a better dancer than you.
You probably are. But yeah, I didn't have a Wii at the time,
So you were just completely out of practice.
I didn't really know you had to hold the remote. So I was really disadvantaged.
I think you said me blaming your equipment. Like I lost to Roger Federer because I had a wooden bat.
Yeah.
I love how Laurence himself is relating himself to Roger Federer
Yes,
here
absolutely.
in this scenario.
Yeah.
The Roger Federer of Just Dance. So do you remember what song it was?
I do. Nicola chose it.
I can't remember.
I think it was. Now, whether this will mean anything to you guys, because you're a lot younger than us, I think you chose the Weather Girls. It's Raining Men.
Oh, yes, it was. I do remember that. Yes, I do. Yeah.
There you go. At least said about that, the better.
Yeah.
So you're rematching next Tuesday in the sports hall.
Mm-hmm.
So how you're feeling about it? Nicola, you first.
Go on.
I wouldn't say I'm thrilled. I'm actually, well, I haven't had time to think about it too much, to be honest. I've been really busy, but I'm a bit nervous, if I'm honest. I don't actually like being in front of the camera and things. I prefer to be behind it. So it depends how many students are going to turn up. But we are doing it for charity, and I am game for doing anything for charity. So I'm nervous, but I think I might have to, do some stretches, get in the gym at the weekend, swim a little bit.
How are you feeling about it, Laurence?
Yeah, terrified really, because I have no rhythm. I have no coordination. I have no balance. So I don't think it's going to go terribly well. We need loads of people to come because have a good time, because our philosophy is, look, I'm doing it for all those people who can't dance and just want to go out and have a bit of a laugh, because it's supposed to be quite good for you, isn't it? To get up and do things, put you out of your comfort zone, have new experiences in life. That's our philosophy. And as Nick said, we're raising money for St. Teresa's Hospice, which is an amazing local charity. It does fantastic work. So please, please come along, support us, obscure us, dance in front of us so people can't see us. And let's all have a nice time in the last week of term.
So as you said, you were maybe doing some stretches this weekend. How are you going to be preparing for it? Are you going to be practicing on that way?
No, I'm going to learn how to click my fingers in time, because I can't even do that.
I don't trust he's not practicing. He's probably in his office practicing.
He's got a little wee in there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a wee. That's a problem. Nancy said it's not.
It's not a
It's like an
wee.
actual routine, which I think the students have done.
Okay.
So I think there's a group of students who are brilliant and are talented, and I think they've come up with a routine. And they're going to kind of, you look terrified now. And they're going to kind of lead us through this routine.
Okay.
And hopefully lead other students through. And I think no doubt there'll be other. We have done this before, and it is a good event. It's a great event, isn't it?
Yeah.
If everyone comes down to the sports hall, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
and joins in, it will be a lot of fun. Maybe not for us, but for everybody else, it'll be great.
It will be really good.
Yeah.
We don't know the song,
Don't know the song.
which adds to
Which is
the
perfect, I think,
nervousness and,
Yeah.
because we don't know what we're walking into.
Or the dance.
No.
Or the genre of dance.
No,
So-
it can
It's
be.
actually
It could be
getting worse.
anything.
Yes, I'm feeling my bad
I'm
back
just
coming
bringing
on.
up your nerves here, aren't
I
I?
have actually got a bit of a bad back at the moment, so it might
Excuses.
worsen.
I know,
He's
excuses
rolling out all
there.
the excuses now.
So, do you feel like you can beat Laurence?
I don't know. I thought I could 15 years ago, but I didn't. So I don't know. I'm gonna back myself though. I'm gonna go in a bit confident.
Yeah. Perfect.
And if the students get behind me,
Yeah.
then maybe I think I stand a really good chance.
Okay.
But Laurence does have moves, despite what he says. He does have moves.
Laurence, do you think you can beat Nicola?
Well, if you watch Strictly, sometimes it's those people, isn't it, who can't dance, who actually end up winning. So that's what I'm going for. I'm going for, the person, the journey, they keep saying, isn't it? The person who's rubbish, but hopefully people will get behind. So, but yeah, really, I'm going to win though.
Okay. So thank you for coming on today. The Q podcast will be covering the Just Dance rematch with commentary. We're going to try and do some commentary of it.
Don't laugh when you do the commentary, will ya?
Everyone, if you can't make it, you'll be able to see it and listen to it on the Q podcast. But do please come down Tuesday lunch at the sports hall.
Bring
for
some
your
money. I don't know. They might have a
rematch.
card machine. Bring some coins, please.
Yeah,
everything.
plenty of cash.
So we can support St. Teresa's Hospice.
Yeah, it'll be great. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
See you Tuesday.
See you Tuesday.
See you Tuesday. So I hope you enjoyed my interview with Laurence and Nicola. Make sure you are in the sports hall at lunch on Tuesday, the 16th of December, for a great cause and to see who will be taking the crown. We will be covering it here on the Q podcast with videos and live commentary as well from the event, so don't miss out. And that marks the end of the QE podcast episode today. Remember to check out the rain_QE on Instagram, and also look out in the coming room in the coming days for the new issue of the Rain magazine to be released. Please message us on our Rain Instagram account if you have any ideas for the podcast, if you have your own ideas, and also you can come and get involved with Rain every Tuesday lunch in room 009. Thank you for listening. We will be back next week with coverage of the Laurence and Nicola Just Dance rematch. But for now, goodbye.